How much do you really know about geography? Get ready to be amazed because some of the most obvious geography facts are just plain wrong. For example, did you know Australia isn't completely in the southern hemisphere? Or that there's an entire country in Europe with 0 rivers? These are just a handful of the 30 geography misconceptions we're exposing today. And if you want to know which country in Europe has no river, just keep watching, I will tell you in the end. Egypt is not entirely in Africa. Most people think of Egypt as purely an African country, but here's the twist. Part of it is actually in Asia. Egypt's Sinai Peninsula extends into Asia, so this makes Egypt a transcontinental country. The largest pyramid by volume is not in Egypt. You probably know about the Great Pyramid of Giza, but did you know there's a bigger pyramid by volume? The Great Pyramid of Cholula in Mexico is the largest in the world by mass. While Giza is famous and massive, Cholula just takes the title in terms of overall volume. Greenland's size is not what you think. Look at a world map and you'll see Greenland looking like it could swallow up most of Europe, but that's just map distortion. In reality, Greenland is about 14 times smaller than Africa, even though it looks much bigger. The Panama Canal runs north to south. Did you know that? Everyone thinks the Panama Canal cuts across Panama horizontally, right? Well, surprise. The Panama Canal actually runs vertically from the north side near Colón all the way down to the Bay of Panama near Panama City. Texas is not the biggest state in the US. If you ever thought Texas was the biggest state in the US, think again. Texas is huge, no doubt, but Alaska is twice its size. Texas is about 678,000 square kilometers, while Alaska clocks in at about 1.5 million square kilometers. Siberia experiences extreme summer heat. When you think of Siberia, you probably imagine endless cold and freezing winters, right? Well,
all right, listen up. There's this new gaming browser called Ray that's literally better than Opera GX. See how I can split screen stuff without leaving my game?
Hold up, Siberia isn't always freezing. In fact, it can get blistering hot during summer. In June 2020, Siberia hit 38 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Maine is closer to Africa than Florida. If you're picturing Florida as the closest US state to Africa, it's time to correct that image. In reality, the closest point in the US to Africa is in Maine. Quoddy Head in Maine is only 3,150 miles away from Morocco. In comparison, Florida's nearest point is 1,000 miles farther from Africa. Holland is just a part of the Netherlands. You might think Holland and the Netherlands are the same thing, but they're not. The Netherlands is the name of the entire country, which has 12 provinces. However, Holland refers to just 2 specific provinces, North Holland and South Holland. Norway has the second longest coastline in the world. You probably wouldn't guess that after Canada, Norway has the second longest coastline in the world, right? With its fjords and jagged cliffs, Norway's coastline stretches over 58,000 kilometers. That beats out some really big countries like the US and Australia. Java is the most populated island. Java, an island in Indonesia, holds the title of the most populated island on Earth. With about 150 million people calling it home, Java is packed. To put that into perspective, Great Britain, with its roughly 66 million people, is the 3rd most populated island. The southernmost point of South America is not Cape Horn. Most people think Cape Horn in Chile is the southernmost point of South America, but that's actually not the case. That honour goes to the South Shetland Islands, located off the coast of Antarctica. You can see Russia from Alaska. At first, it might sound unbelievable, but former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin's claim about seeing Russia from Alaska checks out. From Cape Prince of Wales, you can spot mainland Siberia, just 50 miles away. Sydney is not the capital of Australia. Everyone knows Sydney as the iconic Aussie city, but guess what? It's not the capital of Australia. That honour goes to Canberra, a city that's often overlooked because it's not as famous or as populous. Finland is not part of Scandinavia. A lot of people group Finland with Scandinavia, but that's not technically accurate. The term Scandinavia refers specifically to Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. Finland, while culturally similar and geographically close, is actually not part of Scandinavia. It's part of the Nordic region, which includes Iceland and the Scandinavian countries. The US dollar is not the strongest currency. You probably think the US dollar is the world's strongest currency. Well, think again. The Kuwaiti dinar takes the top spot with $1 worth only about 0.31 Kuwaiti dinars. The US dollar ranks 10th when it comes to the world's strongest currencies. America is, technically speaking, not a country. Colloquially, America means the United States. True. But technically, it includes all countries in North and South America, from Belize and Costa Rica to Brazil and Canada. China uses a single time zone. China uses only one time zone, China Standard Time, for the entire country, even though it spans 5 geographical time zones. This means that the time is the same across all regions, from the eastern coast to the western border, despite significant differences in the actual solar time. The reason? To promote national unity and simplify administrative processes. Iran has cold winter months. You probably think of Iran as a hot country all year round, but it actually has cold months. During January and February, temperatures in parts of Iran can drop as low as 4 degrees Celsius, 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Albany is the capital of New York State. It seems logical that New York City, being the iconic metropolis, would be the capital of New York State, right? Nope, the capital is actually Albany, located about 250 kilometers north of NYC. Albany is home to the state's government. Spanish is not the most spoken native language worldwide. While Spanish is the second most spoken native language worldwide, it's not taking the top spot. That title goes to Mandarin, which is spoken by over 1 billion people in China. Think Greenland's an independent country? Nope. It's an autonomous territory under Denmark with some serious self-governance, but it doesn't have full independence. Polar bears and penguins live on opposite poles. Ever wondered if polar bears chow down on penguins at the North Pole? Well, they don't. Polar bears live in the north, while penguins hang out at the south. They never meet. You can drive from North Korea to Finland via Russia. It's wild, but it's true. Even though North Korea and Finland are nearly 7,000 kilometers apart, you can drive from Pyongyang to Helsinki and only have to pass through one country, Russia. Indonesia and Papua New Guinea are closer to Australia than New Zealand. You'd think Australia's closest neighbour is New Zealand, right? Nope. Indonesia and Papua New Guinea are much closer, giving New Zealand a run for its money. Europe has a desert. Believe it or not, Europe has a desert. It's called the Tabernas Desert, sitting in southeastern Spain. It's not huge, but it's the only desert in Europe, spanning 280 square kilometers. Cairo is further north than Miami. Looking at a map, you might think Cairo is farther south than Miami. Surprise! It's actually a bit further north than Miami. Geography can be tricky like that. The Statue of Liberty is located in New Jersey. While we all associate the Statue of Liberty with New York, technically it's located in New Jersey. It's even listed on the New Jersey Register of Historic Places. Puerto Rico is not a country. A common misconception. Puerto Rico is often thought to be its own country. Nope, it's a US territory, just like how Bali is a province of Indonesia, not an independent nation. Australia's Alps get more snow than the Swiss Alps. Australia may be known for its sunny beaches, but did you know the Australian Alps get more snow than the Swiss Alps? Talk about an Aussie winter surprise. Mount Everest's height changes over time. Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, is getting a bit taller. Over the years, it's been measured a few times, and while the height isn't changing dramatically, it does shift slightly due to tectonic forces. The latest official measurement from China and Nepal placed Everest at 8,848.86 metres, 29,031.7 feet. It's a massive mountain that continues to stand as the tallest point on Earth, and it will probably always hold that title. And finally, it's time to answer the question I left you to keep guessing. The European country that has no river is nothing but the Vatican City. For water, it has to depend on Italy's supply forever. So, which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more mind-blowing content. See you next